When I think about strong innovations in terms of automation, robotics, cognitive computing and artificial intelligence, they are coming a lot from Philippines and India as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to head towards the panel discussion. Today we have with us 4 panel members for the session who are going to talk about demystifying artificial intelligence. I would like to invite Madhavi, President of Codeless Club, to honor Mr. Ravi Lakshmipati, Founder and CEO, Spark EduTech Solutions Private Limited, with a memento. Now, Sai Govind of second year MBA will introduce our first panelist for the event, Mr. Ravi Lakshmipati, Founder and CEO, Spark EduTech Solutions Private Limited.
Mr. Ravi Lakshmipati is the founder and CEO, Spark EduTech Solutions Private Limited. Mr. Ravi is passionate about artificial intelligence and machine learning technology. His vision is to use latest trends in AI, machine learning, and advances in cognitive science to help students to understand their intellectual and emotional abilities and perform better in competitive exams. Mr. Ravi has multiple US patents and worked as a hardware chip architect at IBM. He also has in-depth experience in hardware VLSI design, embedded systems, and software technology. Mr. Ravi has an engineering degree from Madurai Kamaraj University and MS in microelectronics from Krishnalani. We are happy to have you today as a panelist on the theme Demystifying Artificial Intelligence.
Now I invite Sandhya YB, President of Innovation Club, to honor the second panelist, Mr. Rohit Kumar, Vice President, Global Marketing, Cloud 4C. Thank you, sir. Now I call upon Akshay of second MBA to introduce Mr. Rohit Kumar, Vice President, Global Marketing, Cloud 4C.
Mr. Rohit Kumar has more than 12 years of experience in strategic management consulting, marketing and sales. He is currently working as a Vice President, Global Marketing at Cloud 4C. Prior to which he has with IBM as a strategy advisor consultant. He is a trusted advisor to C-suite across a broad range of strategic consultant issues, held numerous advisory and leadership roles in area of defining business models, customer experience design, organizational restructuring and digital transformation. Earlier, he was a leading national marketing initiative in India for a South African headquartered mobile app company. He also worked at Deloitte, one of the top consulting firms, where he led the global marketing and sales initiatives of Deloitte Analytics. He has been a guest speaker at various multinational and Indian corporates, business schools and universities. And he also actively involved in various as a member and a speaker which are around business strategy, artificial intelligence, analytics, social media, leadership, HR innovation and community development. He also is a certified business analytics professional from Indian School of Business. Holding a master's degree from Karunya University, Coimbatore, he was twice awarded as a Best Table Topic Speaker at Toastmasters International. On behalf of School of Management, DGVC, we welcome you, sir.
Now, I invite Tamilarasi, President of 360 Degree Club, to honor our third panelist, Mr. Opali, Vice President, Wealth and Consumer Finance Division, IndusInd Bank. Now, I invite Amrita of first year MBA to introduce Mr. Opali, Vice President, Wealth and Consumer Division, IndusInd Bank.
Mr. Opali is currently working as a Vice President of Wealth Operations and is in Consumer Finance Division at IndusInd Bank Limited. He is also the adjunct faculty at VIT Business School, Vellore, handling risk management, banking, wealth management and insurance papers. He completed his Masters in Bank Management from Alagappa University. He completed Masters in Business Administration under the University of Madras from Vellore Engineering College. He was awarded as a university rank holder. He has over 16 years of experience in the areas of operations management, process implementation, business development, research on wealth management products, and team management. He is also contributing towards financial performance, heightened productivity, and enhanced internal controls. Communication, the human connection, is the key to personal and career success. Yes, our panelist of the day possesses excellent interpersonal communication and organization skills with proven abilities in training and development, relationship management, and planning. So, our panelist of the day holds various badges of honor, starting from Vice President of a bank to a teacher, team player, and so on. It gives me an immense pleasure to welcome you, sir.
Now I invite Vandana, President of Dalal Street Club, to honor our fourth panelist, Dr. Saji K. Matthew, Professor, Department of Management Studies, IIT Madras. Thank you, sir. Now I invite Keaton of second MBA to introduce our fourth panelist, Dr. Saji K. Matthew, Professor, Department of Management Studies, IIT Madras.
Dr. Saji K. Matthew is currently a professor at the Department of Management Studies, IIT Madras. His doctoral research and subsequent academic work focused on the role of information technology in business and management. As a Fulbright scholar, he did his postgraduate research on risk mitigation in offshore IT outsourcing in the Yosida Business School of Emory University, Atlanta, USA. His present research interests cover information privacy, digital platform, and business value of digital technologies. His article has been published in reputed international journals such as Information and Management, Journal of Strategic Information System, European Management Journals, and Information System Frontiers. He has served as a guest editor for Information System Frontiers and associate editor for ICIS 2017. He has about 10 years of work experience in area of industrial automation in Indian industry covering private and public sector companies. He has also provided industrial training and consulting for the companies such as ExxonMobil, Genpact, HP GlobalSoft, Oracle India, Primus Retail, and L&T. In addition, he has sponsored for research products for Nissan, Hand in Hand, Infosys, DSIR, and DFID. On behalf of DT Vaishnav College, welcome you, sir.
So very good morning again. This is, I think, we are approaching towards afternoon, and we all are very lucky that we are having such a wonderful panel full of very eminent experts and professors. Thank you very much for your time and being here. We all know that analytics and artificial intelligence is the key word, and the entire world is now towards these technologies and these applications. And we would like to understand these things in a more closure manner and from application perspective, that what they can do and they are doing basically for our business application, because we all are management students. So we would like to understand that how AI and analytics can help in the area of management and business. I would request Mr. Upili first to enlighten us with regard to artificial intelligence in banking and financial industries and as well in wealth management. Mr. Upili is having vast experience, which we can understood from his very detailed introduction, and we would like to listen from him and understand from him that what AI can do in this area. Mr. Upili, please. Welcome him once again, please. We will have this panel discussion for 45 minutes, and I request each panel member to take 10 to 12 minutes time, please.
Good afternoon for the dignitaries on the stage and off the stage, and my dear students. I will be taking you through some of the initiatives which banks are taking towards artificial intelligence and use of data which is available for the banks to analyze. The predominant area where banks have started using artificial intelligence is to evaluate credit proposals which are coming through their way. Now, each and every bank is running in a competition to sanction loans to the customers or open a savings bank account or a current bank account to the customers. A lot of activities have been digitalized using artificial intelligence to evaluate the scores, credit scores of persons who are applying for loans, and loans are getting sanctioned within an unimaginable period of just 4 hours. Earlier, we used to wait for 4 or 5 days to get yourself known whether you are eligible for a loan or not. This is happening very faster using a lot of artificial evaluations which are happening, both evaluating the bank statement of a particular individual or evaluating a credit score of a particular individual, visiting the premises of an individual. All those things are getting easier through an artificial intelligence where scoring models have evolved, analyzing the scores of the customers. On the other side, if you take the banking industry as such, customer service has become a very important aspect, and probably all the people here will agree that customer service plays a very important role when it comes to any industry. And banks have started involving artificial intelligence technologies to provide customer services. A lot of websites of banks, you can start seeing chatbots which are getting introduced. You can see HDFC Bank which has introduced EVA, which is a chatbot which understands the requirement of the customer. And there are voice recognition technologies which are used by banking call center to analyze who is speaking to the call center rather than asking their name. Earlier we used to get letters saying that Mr. Stroke Mrs. with the name. Now people are being identified as whether it's a Mr. or a Mrs. to make it clear and communicative to them that what is the communication which is going on to the customer. So banks are getting even closer to the customer to understand their habits and what is their requirements, what for they come to the bank, and what is the service which they expect from the bank. So all these things relating to customer service are being integrated using artificial intelligence. From the wealth management perspective, if you see earlier a lot of transactions which are happening either in terms of mutual fund purchases or purchases relating to stocks, everything were through a physical form. People have started evaluating risk profiles of the customers or risk profile of individuals using artificial intelligence techniques. On the other side, they have started listing down the schemes which can suit the risk profile of a particular customer. They have a perfect match which can suit their needs based on various parameters which are again listed down. So if you start evaluating the use of artificial intelligence, it has gone step by step in the banking industry. And if you recollect, there is something, a term called disruptive technology. The disruptive technology can play a very important role in terms of wiping off an industry. If you see, you can take examples of Netflix. Netflix ruled over Blockbuster, who are a leader in US industry in terms of the video cassettes. They introduced DVDs and they introduced a buffering system in their Netflix website, and they entirely wiped off the blockbusters from the market. If you see an Indian scenario, you have pages which RPGs were running, which were overcome in a very short period of time using the mobile technology which came into play. Similar to that in the banking industry, unless the bank starts pushing them a bar upwards, it will become difficult for the banks to survive. The data, the artificial intelligence is used for predictive modeling analytics, like they are using it to identify whether what kind of product can be sold to these customers. You have, the banks these days have a huge customer base in place, and for those who are into marketing or those who are pursuing marketing, these predictive analytics techniques are useful for them to identify whether the customer is eligible for a loan, whether he will come for additional loans, whether he can be given additional products. So cross-sell All type of analytics are in place where it helps banks to understand the customer needs better and focus on what is the exact requirement of the customers. This is on the one side of it. On the other side of it, if you look into the technological perspective as such, a lot of banks like IndusInd has started a unique feature. To bring in IndusInd is because this is a feature which is available in IndusInd Bank ATMs, which can understand what is the last transaction which you have done. If you can visit any IndusInd ATM, you can see it remembers what is the last transaction which you have done, what is the amount which you have withdrawn, what is the pattern of denomination which you have used. It gives a multiple denomination option for you to withdraw. So it even records what is the denomination which you have taken last time. So just a click of a button, you can withdraw the same denomination amount without going through all kind of things. And even without your ATM card, it can recognize your facial recognition is happening, where it recognizes your face and identifies you as a person, and without a card, you can transact in the ATMs. So a lot of technological innovations using artificial intelligence are happening, but still there is a question which evolves that whether artificial intelligence will take over human beings or take over their jobs which they are doing it. To my knowledge or to my experience, whatever I had over the past 15 years or 16 years in the banking industry, it is for the betterment of the industry and it is betterment of us. If you see, we have been doing certain jobs which are monotonous and which are day-to-day in routine, which can be avoided or people can be made to do a better job. That is what is going to happen rather than sending people out. And I have seen people doing data entry, data capturing techniques which have been there for long, and they have been typing their own applications, everything. Now, using artificial intelligence, people are able to, suppose, let's take an example that you are couriering a letter to a customer and you don't know whether it has reached a customer, or you go to the website of the courier agency to trace all those details. Now there are bots which have been trained where it will show you the consignment details. It is tagged to the system, core banking system, where it shows you the detail that whether it has reached him or not. So rather than a physical person going to the website and checking all these activities, it has made easier where all these details gets updated immediately into your system. So artificial intelligence has improved the way in which people are working in the banking industry, and a lot of examples are coming out. Like you can say in the financial industry, there is something called as P2P lending. P2P lending, if you have seen their websites, there is nothing which goes on paper. Everything gets evaluated using the intelligence. Like when you apply a loan, your bank statement gets evaluated using your login ID and password, where they go and study your details. When it goes to the verification of your profile, they understand from your mobile itself that what is the SMS, through SMS they analyze that what is the credit messages which you get from your bank or your credit card messages. They read all those things, and they also group you according to the friends or relatives who are there in your phone numbers. They group which category of people who belong to, and they evaluate credit score based on that. So without any paper, financial institutions have started lending it to people. So that is how the industry is moving towards, and a lot of opportunities are evolving both from the technical side as well as from the implementation of artificial intelligence in the industry as such. So without these kind of efforts, whatever it is happening, the industry actually it is going to consolidate in future. The banks have to survive depending on what is the technological improvements which they are going to make. So that is what from my side as of such. I will be happier to take your questions after the panel discussion. Thank you.
Awesome. Upili, I'm very much surprised to know that if I stand in front of ATM machine and if I'm having investment credit card, I need to just press one button and the last transaction amount will be given to me. This is fantastic, but looks scary also. Somebody can have mask and then have a picture like me and can do something, some cosmetics, and show to the machine that he's Dr. Vinod, and then my money will be away. So anyways, these type of things are there, and we need to understand more that how these things are going to be tackled. I would like to request now Mr. Ravi to come and tell you about something very interesting. In which year you are? Second year. Would you like to predict that what will be your percentage in second year? Yes? Pakka? Good. What Ravi does, those who are applying for competitive exams, like CAT and likewise, So they would like to know that what will be their score based on XYZ parameters, and that helps a student. Before all this happens before exams, I believe, Ravi, before exams, so that student is aware of that as per system or as per one machine learning method, artificial intelligence method, his score is going to be like this, and this will help him to address the gray points so that he can improve upon those areas and then can improve his score. And finally, when the final exam will happen, real exam will happen, then he can achieve whatever he wanted. Ravi has developed these type of AI technologies in the area of assessment of exams. I'm sure that it's going to be very interesting. Just over to Ravi. Welcome, Ravi. Please.
Thank you, sir. Good morning to all. So what I'm going to talk about today is what is AI, the basic introduction, how AI started, and then with a few examples, real-time examples of what we have done, and I'll talk about the product, what Sarah has explained, what we have developed using artificial intelligence and deep learning for competitive exams. So if you see AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, predictive analysis, quantitative analysis, intuitive predictability, all these words, neural networks, they are similar kind of meaning. Artificial intelligence is a concept. So how come suddenly artificial intelligence has gained so much of popularity? Right? Last 3-4 years, that's when I think artificial intelligence has gained this popularity. This concept of artificial intelligence has been there from early 80s, 70s. It was confined to, you see, the people who had supercomputers. IBM, NASA, ISRO, all these guys who have access to supercomputers, they were already using artificial intelligence. But from 2012, artificial intelligence has become a mainstream word. Everybody is talking about artificial intelligence. How come suddenly it became possible? The reason here is what made it possible is because of the improvements in the semiconductor technology. If you see 2012, Intel released i7 third generation processor. It has 700 million transistors. 700 million transistors with a 2 centimeter by 2 centimeter chip. So what it can do? It can go through encyclopedia.
Ravi, excuse me 1 minute. I would like to tell you one very interesting thing. When I was giving the presentation, I have told you about IBM Watson Analytics. Are you able to recall?
Yes, sir.
Or you were sleeping at that time?
IBM Watson.
So, when we were having tea, then Ravi shared this information with me. And it's so amazing that I could not control my temptation, and I thought that I must tell you that IBM Watson Analytics, the chips were made by Ravi. So can we have a huge round of applause?
So what made this AI revolution is availability of a cheap processing power. Right, with IBM has Intel has released i7 processor, which has close to 2 billion transistors. So what is 2 billion transistors going to do? They're going to do multiple transactions. They're going to do multiple calculations. They can do enormous amount of data processing. Right? So how the AI is all about data processing. You have sets of data which have been already trained, or you have new sets of data. So I'll give you a classical example which happened 2 weeks back in US. This was in Atlanta. Okay, there was a football match, and IBM, Google, and Apple. These three are the partners for providing the technology support for the ground. So before the match started, right, 30 minutes before the match started, the entire ground was full. The management team which runs the entire show, so they have data. What all data they have? How many spectators have come to the ground? How many are male? How many are female? How many are between 1 to 10 years? How many are between 10 to 20 years? How many are 30 plus? How many are wearing white color shirt? How many are wearing jeans? How many are old people? So all this data are available. Also, they also have the data of potential criminals sitting there. So what happens is all their cameras, security cameras, will focus on these potential criminals. So that is a level of artificial intelligence which has developed. This is a real-time example. Okay, so these two things are very important, and I can very clearly give you a very practical example which we can even implement in today. For example, if I tell you we started the program at 9:30, right? If I give you data that 9:30 there were 50 students here, 9:45 there were 60 students, At 10 o'clock, there were maybe 100 students. So I can also tell that exactly how many students are wearing what color dress. For most of them are wearing black and blue, right? So these kind of data can be generated very easily. What we need maybe 10 cameras, which is algorithm which will sense what color we are wearing, whether you are male or female. We have to train them. This is a practical aspect. So what I see is artificial intelligence as a science and an art, which is going to be like a co-worker for the managers. It is not going to replace managers. That's my opinion, and that's what I also feel. Okay, so it's going to give you very, very powerful data, where you need to take this data and make decisions. And one recent case study in Accenture. So if you see Accenture worldwide, there are close to 3 lakh employees. Okay, and every year they have close to 20 to 30% attrition. What is attrition? Attrition is when people quit. So when their management decided to find why this is happening, and they found this attrition is happening exactly 4 to 6 weeks after appraisal. What is appraisal? When they give salary hike, right? So what does it mean? It means that 20 to 30% of employees are not happy with their salary hike. So what happened is then they have had a meeting in the management, and then they decided that entire appraisal will be done by AI method. So what they did a complete, they analyzed all the vectors on this, based on which an employee's performance is analyzed. So now, within the last 2 years, their attrition has come down to 8%. And this is a real-time example where AI is being used by managers. Instead of subjective decisions, now the systems are going to take decisions. So what managers or management should make use of is all this data which is available, make use of the data, and then make meaningful decisions. So if you ask me, AI has 2 parts. One is the technology part, other is the application part. The technology part, I think Professor was also talking in the morning, right? The linear regression, but I think most of you would not have understood, right? So that is the technology part. That is for the data scientists. That is for people like me, who develop models, who develop algorithms, who get the trained data, we train them. For example, a camera doesn't know it is a green color, but it can capture. So we'll say how the green color will look like. We keep on training. So we'll collect the data. We know what pixels will make green color, what pixels will make blue color. So we'll train that. So that is the job of the data scientist. But as a managers, as a management people, you all need to be aware of what is data analytics. And one recent survey says that 60% of students who take MBA course in US, they register in course for machine learning. So it shows that machine learning, you need to have awareness of machine learning. You need to have awareness of artificial intelligence so that you can make meaningful decisions. Because tomorrow, the technology team will give you so much of data. You have to make decisions. You should be able to question the technology team. How did you arrive at this data? What are the algorithm you used? Is it a meaningful algorithm? Does it cover all the parameters or not? Because the recent trends in predictive capabilities, right? Very predictive meaning intuitive capability. For example, I think the principal was also talking that the machines cannot replace humans in terms of emotions. But if you see the latest trends in IBM Watson, they have brought predictive analytics, meaning it will predict like humans. The intuition is one of the most important factors only humans can boast of, right? But today Watson is saying that it can intuitively predict whether somebody can become Einstein or not. They have a mission in IBM in New York. What it does is, for example, if a 10-year-old boy enters that mission, it will predict whether he can become an Albert Einstein or not. It can predict whether that person can potentially get cancer or not. Because it has collected the data of all the people who are like Albert Einstein and the parameters of that person. For example, height, weight, their eyes, their color of the ear, color of their hair, the length of the hand, length of the legs. All these data are collected. So they will compare that data with this person and what is the prediction? What is the probability that the person is going to be like that? So that is a level of areas which has gone, artificial which has gone into. Okay. So coming to our discussion, on the education side, what we have done is, we have done a product called ePremie. It's an exam preparation made easy. So what that product does is, it will predict exactly where students stand in competition. For example, if you take NEET exam, right? I think most of you will be knowing NEET, CAT, all these exams. So NEET exam, last year, 13 lakh students took NEET exam. Okay. There are 68,000 medical seats in India. So 1 in 22 students will become a doctor. So everybody is preparing for it. And it is a competitive exam. It is not a board exam. So how does a student prepare? He goes to school, he goes to tuition, he goes to academies, he gets trained everywhere. But what we are trying to do is, we are trying to find the student where does he stand in competition. For example, this is in Arumbakam, right? So if I want to come to Arumbakam, and if I call madam and tell, madam, I have to come to your college, she will ask me, where are you? Only then she can give me direction, right? So what this platform does is it will find exactly where a student is. Where does he stand today in competition? How can he achieve? How can he crack NEET? That's what our product is. So it will find with so many parameters. The number of parameters we track is close to 4,000 parameters. For every student, we collect close to 4,000 parameters. Based on that, we build the model, we build the algorithm, we build the model. So what we'll be able to provide is, we can exactly profile the students. For example, we can tell exactly students in Chennai what they are good in. We can exactly tell the students who are good in physics, from which area they come from. That kind of results we can provide. So how is it going to be useful for management? They can take decisions based on this. You can say, okay, I want to hire students who are very good in biology. I'll exactly give you a map of India where the students are good. For example, Calcutta. I'll say Meghalaya. These are the students who are very good in biology. So if you want to hire students, you can hire students from those kind of areas. So I see AI is going to be very, 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 very revolutionary for management, because starting from hiring, from finance, I think our banking side has already spoken about. It's going to revolutionize everything, and I would encourage all of you to understand what is AI, and if possible, take some online courses to understand in depth of AI, theoretical understanding, what kind of algorithm they use, how do they identify. For example, Amazon, you know, right? So according to Amazon, 40% of sales happen if on a big billion day, right? 40% of sales happen between night 10:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. So what will managers do with this data? So you have to make a decision. And it also says that when they put a new product from morning 9 to 11, that doesn't get sold. So it means that you should not introduce any new product in the morning time. So these kind of data will be available to you as a marketing person or HR person or a finance person. You have to make informed decisions. So thank you for the opportunity. I think I will be happy to take questions.
Awesome. Awesome, Ravi. And no doubt your endeavors are helping student community a lot, and they are able to improve their scores, and they are able to know beforehand and on what areas they need to put more focus. Great efforts, and student community is definitely getting a benefit out of that. Whenever we talk about artificial intelligence, machine learning, and so many things, there is one word which comes up quite frequently. And I had expressed in the morning that I am not from computer science background, and there are many things which makes me scary. And there is one thing, the moment I hear that thing, my mind starts, it starts shivering, as a matter of fact. And the word is cloud technology, cloud. So I